I really like when developers put in their games references to their own culture. I generally believe that video games are a great place to learn about cultures from all around the world, and I don't know why, but I especially like when horror developers do it. Following to that, I have a great pleasure to welcome my next guest, Patrick, the developer responsible for the game called No Return. Hi Patrick, how are you?
Hi Lucas, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And going to the topic of this interview, your game is heavily influenced by the Chinese folklore. And can you tell me more about it? What themes, motifs from Chinese culture we'll find in your game? Of course, without making too many spoilers.
Okay, sure. Yeah, the game is indeed influenced by Chinese folklore. The story is in a way representative of a lot of families in China in the 1990s. Mm-hmm. The story is set in a Chinese-style condo with very narrow hallways and lots of households on the floor. The home is also a concept where families were beginning to make a good living for themselves and seen as an improvement from the old ways of living compared in rural area. Mm-hmm. No Return centers on a particular family story of the husband undergoing psychological traumas and flashbacks. And we don't want to spoil too much of the story here, but try to hang on to this family, but undergoes tremendous loss. Throughout the story, we blend in some folklore traditions that we still adopted by modern families, which plays a role not just in puzzle solving, but also added an immersive cultural element to the game experience. Yeah, it will be a good game, and let me tell you how the game interests the players. It's rare to have a game with background in 1990s of mainland China. Mm-hmm. The virtual world in the game is inspired by the interior of old public flats in mainland China. In the game, players not only experience what the people at that time see in the real life and the cultural context, but also explore and discover real or paranormal phenomena through the in-game story. It brings the joy, the sadness, and the psychological fear emotions. Hopefully, it also triggers instincts like self-identification, protection, curiosity, and even the color appreciation. So the game awakens the family within, having us rethink the work-life balance in today's life. And more than those things that you guys to experience in the game is that the realistic artwork as well combined with the audio, so that build up the atmosphere and the fancy experience, like you're watching a movie, but more than a movie, it's a game. So that's why we want to make such a tentative stuff for the players as an indie studio.